to World Doll Day, and we're here at the front door of the Carmel Doll Shop in Pacific Grove, California. So we'd like to invite you to come in and see how we've decorated for Christmas and see all the special things inside. First, you have to see this incredible Christmas tree, which, Michael, it is real, isn't it?
It's real.
It is real. And it's been decorated by your wonderful crew.
Well, this was done by our crew. Put the lights on, and then Mary Sanko.
Mary Sanko did all this. Oh,
and
fantastic! She's amazing.
That there's probably about 300 ornaments on it.
Oh, Mary, that's incredible.
Yes, and she did a beautiful job.
Look at the pig and the cart and all the things in Santa's cart. It's beautiful. And of course, a doll. We have to have a doll underneath the tree.
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a real cute.
Very
chase, don't you think?
Yes.
Very playful.
Look at here. Look at this little. And did she put all these dolls and things?
She chose the dolls.
She did. Oh, amazing.
She chose the dolls.
A nice composition. I don't know.
That is a
or vine or no.
It's hard plastic.
Hard plastic.
That's a Nancy Ann style doll.
Ah, okay.
So she's a California girl.
It's nice to see things that you don't know a lot about.
Well,
Beautiful.
I mean, if you look at that, Denise, don't you see a little bit of the way the dress, the skirt is constructed? Doesn't that remind you of a little storybook doll?
It sure does.
But big.
But big. Yep.
And she did a beautiful job on this tree. I have enjoyed it, and people
Yes.
can, when you look in the front door, that's what you see.
That's what you see. Yes.
So she did a really beautiful job. And these are semi-old ornaments.
I was going to ask, so some things look pretty darn old.
Yes, most of it is kind of what I would call
Like
semi-old.
little
But then
glass.
the oldies are in the back.
But these are the things that we had when we were kids.
Oh, yes.
I remember, yeah. I still have some of them. They're pretty fragile, but I do have them.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But you know what? I hate losing them, but if we do, you know what? I can get more. Because it's fun to get
Well,
stuff.
it's fun to bring things out every year and remember what you had.
And then they created some of these tableaus, like this little grouping here, where somebody is throwing a tantrum. So they did all that. They really, really worked
Looks
hard.
like a typical little family, doesn't it?
Yes, little boys. They're all boys.
And look at this big girl sitting there. I think
Well,
that's the biggest doll I've ever seen.
They could be a little bit bigger, but she's pretty big. Her head is as big as my head. I like her to be at the sewing machine. I think she's very cute at that. But then if she did, no one could get in the door. We do need to do that.
We did do that. Over here, actually, if you want to turn around, there's this incredible Eiffel Tower. I think should be seen.
Well, I mean, it's way
Christmas
tall.
tree.
Yes, it's way taller than you, but it's here because we love Paris and we love the Eiffel Tower, and we also want to have feng shui, and you can't have feng shui without an Eiffel Tower.
Is that so?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And does it have to be positioned east or west or north or
I
south?
don't know. I just
okay.
like the story. I don't want to have bad feng shui.
And we have just this beautiful
Yeah,
little
they
winter
created
girls over
a
here.
pretty little thing. And you know what's so sad for them? Now that they've done it, they have to do it every year.
Heck yes. Heck yes. Beautiful.
And they did
Victorian
they
townhouse.
just use little things to get the decorating on.
And no, it just a little bit of garland and bows. And over here are the cabinets that are always here with usually beautiful fashions.
Yes.
They could certainly be changed up.
Yes.
for a
And
while.
there
It's been
needs to be more.
fashions.
We really had to work hard to get things for the Santa's toy shop, So, I mean, we did that, and now we're back to square one where
Right.
the shelves are empty.
Right. Well, that's the
Of
way
which
the
we're
furniture,
happy.
That's the way
Yeah.
it goes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. I don't know if you can get this little corner with this beautiful
Oh, yes.
girl, Teddy. What is he wearing? He's wearing a
He's an Olympic.
medal.
He's an Olympian bear. I think he was made for one of the Olympics. And she's looking awful
Look at
wonderful.
her.
Chanel.
Watch the wires.
Now it's pretty bright in here right now because we'll show you the behind the scenes that a good part of our videos are shot here. This is how you have to do it with these lights because there's some days, aren't there, Denise, that we work from early in the morning till late at
Oh
night.
goodness, sometimes we set up at night so that we can get in there in the morning.
Yeah.
And what did you call that? The altar?
This is
The
well,
doll.
it's now
Oh.
officially the doll
Okay.
altar because Elizabeth Ann Coleman called it a doll altar. So,
Okay, well then
so then
that's what it's
I mean, we
become.
do preach the gospel of dolls, so why not? We did not over decorate the fireplace, the mantelpiece, because it had to kind of stay semi-neutral because there's so many different things.
you were
Yes.
filming.
And of course, Miss Rose Percy is here because just holding a spot.
Because she's the queen.
This is her home.
And she has some special jewelry on too.
Oh yes, she wore diamonds and
Rubies.
garnets and rubies. She wore all
Look
of
at
them
that.
for.
Here, let's just.
That's a big old fat diamond there with a black pearl. And a beautiful. She got bling.
Well, you know, she has it and she
Yes,
deserves it.
she does
She's
deserve
the
it.
hardest working girl I've
That's right.
ever known.
Yeah, and then when we count all the pennies left from the budget of this event, what is left is going to go to the Red Cross to
That's wonderful.
help because that's one of her charities because of all the unfortunate things happening in the world today, and Rose has been at that for now almost over 100 years now. Now this was cute. Did you see how
I did. Did Mary do this too?
No, Monsi did this.
Oh, Monsi did
And
this.
so she did all these little
She did. Oh, look
garlands and
at that. We're going to make a doll collector out of her yet,
yes.
aren't we?
And I don't know where she found. I have no idea where she found these dolls. I don't.
But she did a
I
good
don't.
job.
She put all these dolls in it. And I think I might just leave it that way. I'm not sure that even after Christmas
you would
I'll
want to
take
take it off. It's very cute.
I might just.
You could maybe take the dolls, but leave some of this
It
on.
really looks pretty. What she did is she
Nice
wrapped two different things together. So it's a great scale.
Oh, she did.
Poor thing. She doesn't know that that's now going to be part
That's
of
her
her
job. And of course we have this beautiful, gorgeous, what kind
This
of
is
it?
a gottschalk.
Gottschalk,
Mhm.
okay, it is.
That's one of my.
Love
Although
that.
it's we're in the shop area right now. That's one of mine. For David doesn't like to hear that, but it's what it
But
is.
it's yours.
And then these are all here's one
All
of our
the
Rose.
kits
It's
that-
the Rose Percy Christmas dress.
Yes, it is.
So, and those of you that don't know about that, you can go to the our Carmel Doll Shop boutique, and the pattern for this is a free downloadable. So you should, if you want to make your own Christmas dress, it's the pattern's there.
And I've seen people's photos on Facebook.
They have made
They've
a
done
lot
gorgeous,
of them.
yes.
There are
Done
lots
gorgeous
of
job.
lots of great work, and we're very proud of the amount of people we brought into the doll sewing world that weren't. They were afraid to sew because they were afraid to go to a class, and now you can watch it virtually.
You can and keep going back.
Exactly, and
No
of course-
teacher will yell at you either.
Well, no, not Denise.
Not that we would do that anyway.
Oh, we might whack them with a ruler a little bit here and there, but that's about it.
No.
So that they've decorated from
And yes,
The
look at the
top.
tops. Look at that.
the tops of everything, and they did a really.
I even
nice
like
job.
how they put the boxes, the
Yes.
array boxes up there.
wouldn't like it if there was a big shaker, but they
No,
wouldn't
you
hurt
know,
you.
if there's
They
a big
wouldn't hurt you.
shaker,
There's
there's a
nothing.
big shaker.
Yeah, we will come to that when we.
When we come to it.
Yes.
Yes. And look at this, a little old-fashioned setting with the stoves.
These are our
and
country girls.
the dishes. It's gorgeous. Look at
Isn't
the
that-
scale.
I mean,
that pattern.
I forget what that's called. I know what it's called, and it's just escaped me. But I do just love it. Just a beautiful pattern. Look at that little package. I've never seen that before, so I don't know where that came
Ace
from.
Muncie found that too.
And here's the kind of tree that everybody should love, which is a tree. This is our seashell tree, and the beauty of this tree is the feather tree. It's decorated all the time.
All the time, so you just put
Just-
it
you
away
just
like
put it
that in a
away,
big
yeah.
box. Just set it down. That's the kind I like.
And Judy Lloyd made all these ornaments.
She did. Oh, Judy.
Yeah,
Oh, there's another talented lady.
yeah, she did.
Oh, wonderful. It's beautiful. I love these trees. So can we get a tree like this these
Oh, sure.
days?
Yeah,
Okay.
they make a reproduction tree that you can, sure. And then what you do is you decorate it and you just wire it on, and then you just cover it up after the holidays and bring it out. But I have places that I put these. That I leave them up all year. But it's very, very clever because it's a seashell seaside theme.
Now, did she make this for the Rose Percy?
She did. She made it for the
she
Rose Percy
did.
event in Seattle.
Okay.
And then Carol Cameron bid on it, and she very generously donated.
Donated it.
Yeah, which is really
Aw.
sweet.
Which is perfect for this.
Yeah, because we're
This area.
by the sea.
Very nice.
I didn't do much here, but it's a pretty little corner, so
Oh, that's lovely.
Show
I
them
love the little
anyways.
governesses.
yeah. So shall we go into
Sure.
the Grovian?
This is now we're entering the museum from the shop. This is heaven. No. This is what we're greeted with.
Well, one thing we're greeted with is Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc.
She usually has the corner, and she carries her flag, God's will.
Look at that.
And then this,
And this is one of my favorites of all.
I agree. It's one of my favorites too.
She's a post-revolution lady. She's got her beautiful little short haircut. She's got the
Her little
red ribbon
her
around
guillotine
her.
cut.
Her guillotine cut, plus the red ribbon around her neck, which reminded them of what had just
survived.
happened, and they survived it. And the fabric is all embroidered or needle pointed. I can't
It's embroidered.
tell. Embroidered.
I think it's. I
Maybe,
think you
yeah.
can almost say both because it's got.
So
a little
tiny,
bit.
such tiny
And
stuff.
I should show the
Oh, yeah.
shape of the head because it really is a wonderful doll. One of my favorites.
All wooden.
And then one of my, I'll show them. It's not a doll, but I love Declamania, which is where you took the die cut pieces and then you lacquered them and put them on screens and put them behind glass. And it's just a fun art form. And somehow it kind of works with dolls.
So each of those images
It's separate.
is separate.
Yeah, and then they would pour paint on they glue them to the glass and then they pour the paint onto the back. So it is a
Lovely.
convex glass.
Lovely.
And then we got the little guards, which are kind of
Oh.
sweet, early ones. And then they decorated this house with just a big bow,
Just a
like
big
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. This house doesn't need much.
No, it doesn't to get the holiday
adornment.
feeling.
Yeah. There's a name to this house? Does this house have a
It
name?
does not have a name. It
doesn't have a
should.
name.
It
Okay.
should. It really
Now,
should.
I see this here. What does this do?
Oh, that is to lock it.
Just-
So right
okay,
now,
so
if
cross
you wanted
through
to,
here.
Denise, you could open it. You could. It will open, but when you want to lock it, you put
Then
that.
you throw that. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I want to take a minute and acknowledge Anne and Kathy, because not only did they do programs, they went through the whole museum and straightened everything up, because we've done a lot of programming in the last, I don't know, since June or so, and the cases get pretty messed because we take things out and we don't always have time to arrange it. And I'll put the things back, but we don't have the time to arrange it. So they got to open up all the cases, which you can do now if you want. And they arranged everything. It makes a lot of noise.
I'm not afraid of it.
Now,
I'm going for it. Okay, now this might, I don't know.
that might have a lock just at the bottom.
It's not locked, okay.
So they got poor things. They
Look
worked
it.
so hard, and they got to take
actually touch all these.
They moved it all, and I let them do whatever they want. And it is 200 pounds of dolls put into a 2-pound bag.
Somehow it works.
And
nobody would mind
I
it.
mean, they need a little more room. The only thing I specified is that the mice have to be visible.
seen. And did you see one was kind of got away?
Yep, but here's a whole little group.
Yes, but this one, I'm just saying, he got
And then
away.
there's one on the lounge, and those have to be there because it's good luck for a dollhouse.
To have
a
little
mouse.
mice. Okay.
Not real mice, but the little play mice. So
One thing maybe I can point out is I had seen, going through books, and I'd seen a catalog of a picture of Kessner's articles, and she was in it. So then I came and said, "Oh, Michael, that's a Kessner." Yes.
You didn't know
It's a
that's
Kessner.
in there? You've been here 100
Oh, I've
times.
seen it 100 times, but you see something new every day.
Yes.
And then it just pointed out, Kessner, I saw her in a picture in the catalog.
Well, today,
I mean, thank goodness.
Today
Kessner's-
Dave and I had a conversation about broom medallions, and
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh, we have one." And he said, "We have two." And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh,
He said, "We have one in a box." I didn't know.
Oops.
Oops,
Somewhere. And look at this little shell.
At least we're consistent, though,
Shell.
Isn't he
Little
great?
peddler. I've never seen one quite like that.
And the shells are tiny.
Tiny, tiny. Look at down here. Teeny, tiny.
But what is interesting about him is, if you notice, he's a flower seller, but look at the position. I think that he had another companion, probably a lady, and he was reaching behind to give her a bouquet. Do you see the pose?
I do.
Do you see that? What I mean? It's like almost like a figurine. How you have a pair of Dresdens or Meisens
yes.
figurines, and they are pairs. But hey, I'm happy to help
And he
him.
maybe could have had in his hand.
Yeah, one shell
Yeah,
flower in his
in his
hand. And of course, there's John Darcy Noble's whistle, which was talked about in the
Right.
program about him.
And that must be an archangel.
That is
What is that?
Michael.
Michael, that is.
Yes,
Got a
that is
sword.
Michael. Here I
And
am
then-
again, slaying some dragons.
Bad people. And look at this lovely lady in her wardrobe. That isn't amazing.
She doesn't have anything to wear,
No, not a thing.
and her hats.
Look at this one. This shape, that shape. She's got everything.
She's very petite too, very dainty.
This is a shape. It's on that movie Sense and Sensibility.
Oh yes.
Emma Thompson.
Almost
Look
kind
at
of
that.
like well, I think you'd call that for its time, and later on, it's a peach basket. If you turned it upside down the other way, Doesn't that look like a basket?
Little basket.
But of course it could have had another.
And I love this. Look at the hair piece. We see sometimes combs like this, maybe some tortoise shell, maybe a couple of pieces, but not that.
It's a miracle.
That's just a miracle, yeah.
That's from the shop Howard's, that it's even survived. It's just a miracle. It's getting blasted with light, but it is pretty nice.
Beautiful. I love this little family here.
Those have been with us for a very long time. And what's interesting about them is we collected these when people really were not interested in them. They were not
Hard
at
to
all.
imagine.
No, well, things change.
Right.
And just to give you an idea how not interested they were, the little one on her lap, I paid 35 pounds for that. So, and it wasn't in ancient times. It was just 40 years ago.
Oh, gee, that was yesterday.
Yeah, to me it was yesterday.
The 80s were yesterday. There we go.
But people were not interested in them. I mean, they were interested in other things, but I loved them, even though I didn't know what I was doing. I loved them. Shall we look at some maybe we'll get some provisions for your Christmas dinner.
I'm a little squeamish. I'm a
Are
big
you?
hypocrite because I eat meat, but I don't want to know where it comes from.
Well, it was a fact of life for them.
Of
but
course
yes,
it was.
Yes.
Yes, of course it was.
And all of that beef and lamb, they all died of old age. So don't worry about
All
it.
right, thank you. You're kind. Now look at this. Shells.
It's a shell
what
dog.
on earth are these shells?
They're shells. It's all shells.
Goodness.
And of course, I just love shells. And I love shells and I love shell dolls. And I could turn on some light so we could have some light here, or maybe not.
What has he got in it? It looks like a...
It's another kind of a shell, but I don't know what it is. What kind of shell? And you know what it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be a bagpipe. So he's missing a little more, some components. But I figure, you know what? He's got a lot going on. So I'm not going to penalize him. Now, isn't this a screen?
Yes.
The chicken with Chanticleer.
Chanticleer.
So we have a little taxidermy and dolls mixed together, and a candy box. All in one.
Wait, where is
the candy's here?
In here.
So
So
the
you have to open that, or can you?
No,
You had to open
You
it.
had to
Okay.
open it.
Oh, for heaven's
But isn't that a screen?
Yeah.
So the fable of Chanticleer.
Great condition.
It is. With, French fashion arms. Just crazy. It's crazy. But, it's a wonderful piece of Victoriana. And then,
And speaking of wonderful piece of Victoriana.
she's
Look at
just,
her.
there's something about her personality that just is captivating to me.
Yes.
And the clothes are just, they're insane, but wonderful.
Wonderful. There's just layer after layer.
And I think, Denise, you can tell me, I think that the design is painted. I don't think that that's in.
Oh, I'd have to.
What do you think?
This here?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
It's very weird. It's a weird looking,
It
maybe
goes
it's
through.
not.
It goes through.
but isn't that a bizarre pattern?
It is. I've never seen it before.
And it's
And
almost,
look at the striping
it's almost
of
variegated,
the,
isn't
of the,
it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
And at first I thought she was too much, and then I thought,
No.
she's not too much. She stands
Well,
out in
what's
the
too
crowd.
much?
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
true. There's a little
And now
cutie.
we have this little one.
Yeah, I do love her. With her wonderful little clothes.
What is she, 6 inches at the most?
At the most. And look at how the clothes are styled. I mean, it's really early 19th century.
Yep.
And of course the doll is too. It's got that early look. I mean, these are even earlier than Princess Victoria's. you know, when you go by the styling of the clothes.
Right.
Hers were in the 30s. This is in the 20s.
20s.
And maybe teens.
Teens, maybe.
Teens. And she's fairly new to the collection. So shall we turn
look
around,
at the ladies?
look at the ladies?
Well,
They have a little bit of
we
decoration.
might have to go over there because
Oh,
we're
you're
not
gonna
seeing
start-
Miss Doliak.
Yes.
Look at that dress. Look at that face.
Yeah, she's one of our favorites. And again, the people that don't know about our boutique site, they could go onto that, and there is a free pattern to make this dress.
Make it.
And then they go on to YouTube, and there is a tutorial on how to make it. But it's not for the faint of heart.
Now, if you don't feel you want to do it, ask Jeffrey Cook.
Jeffrey Cook or Angela D.
Angela could do it too.
And Jeffrey's done quite a few of them for people.
Yeah.
But I think it's an amazing costume. Just amazing.
Got laces up in the back.
And of course, we have the technology to open the cases. So if you want to push the case open, you
Is
can
it-
go that way, because I think we've covered her.
Oh, here we go.
But we've got a whole bunch here that
Need to be seen. Look at
that's Becky.
look at her teeth.
Becky
Yeah, some
needs to
teeth.
go to a dentist
No.
because she got little
Little bug. No. She has a
That's
beautiful
little
small.
but she's slightly bugged
Okay,
too.
so and what doll? Who made this doll?
This is a Barwa.
Barwa.
But in my career, I've never seen one with
teeth.
teeth like that. It's not an open mouth. They've just painted the teeth in. They thought, oh, I'm going to do some teeth.
I don't know if I've ever seen eyebrows quite like that either. Look at them.
They are unusual, aren't they? So this might have been some painter who was going rogue. Yeah. And then there's
We have Miss
Richard. And then another
early lady.
early lady. And then they have their wonderful little Christmas tree that I just love the shape of it.
Look at it. Tiny ornaments.
And I think Judy decorated that. It could be Judy or Mary. It's all a blur, but one of them decorated.
One of
them decorated it.
Terribly artistic ladies. Look at this.
I do love a good chandelier. I know you do too.
I do too. Yep. I guess we could look at the back of her dress while we're here. Look at
Might
this.
as well.
Look at that. Look at all this blonde lace.
And she might be familiar to a lot of people because she was on the cover of Doll News back in the
Back in
day.
the day.
And then you can see her face.
Now this is a Dehors. Did I say that right? Dehors.
You did.
Dehors.
Well, I'm sure.
I don't
you
know.
could
Do we
be-
pronounce?
Doll. I'm sure we got it wrong. But all I have to say to you, is our French friends, is, yeah, well, we don't make fun of you when you speak English. And there's another one of our
Nice early lady.
nice earlies. And I should acknowledge that here's some gift from Bradley Justice, not the tiara, but the beautiful boxes from
Oh,
Lingerie.
it says lingerie on it.
Yeah, and you know, I love the wrapping so much. I thought, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to just put it in
just
this
put it in.
display, so it will be petrified in there.
But it'll be there. Oh, look. Well, I shouldn't have. Look at this little. Is this another? No, this is an ostrich. So that's not.
This is an
chandelier.
ostrich.
Mhm,
Ostrich, and those are real stones. Those are real pearls. Those are real
Rubies.
rubies, and there are diamonds in the wings. It could use a little cleaning, so it pops out. But you know, Buell hasn't been working lately, so and that's me. So I need to get that cleaned.
There are little things inside in the vitrine.
Oh, are there?
Yes. Did you realize?
Oh, yeah,
Got a
there
bunch of
are.
little
Oh,
things.
I'm glad you pointed that out because I could be looking for that for a week. Yeah, there's some good stuff. All right.
And then look at this. It's just decorative little piece.
Well, do you know what it originally is? It's a perfume stand.
Oh, so you put
So
your bottles,
put
your glass
that.
bottles on there.
But I think that just glorifies whatever.
Oh, yes.
And you know, I like fancy. I like plain and I like fancy.
But fancy is
Now,
best.
I'm not real wild about this pine cone just sitting here. So could you put this
Wait,
here?
let's put this right here. Yeah. Because look at these figurines. Look at him. I mean,
Yeah, those are probably little early Paris porcelain. Very early ones. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about the pine cone because it actually looks cute on the floor.
looks cute right
listen,
there.
I don't want to be doing this, so I'm happy
no.
that-
Okay.
And then here's one of our gorgeous
Stars.
girls.
She really is. She's a star. And I was just looking at her hands, how beautiful they are, but hers are too. The other one we just looked at.
Well, they're both
They're
cute.
not. They're fancier. They're more beautiful than the standard. I would say.
Well,
I would say, but
when,
plus, of course, she has the
when
curved.
when you're the maker to the imperial prince, your dolls better be nice. So these are the and we have I think 4 doors. No.
Well, 1, 2,
5.
no, 4. You have him,
We have 2 men.
2 men, and 3 ladies.
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you hate me? Yes, I hate you. But look at him too. I mean, look at this gentleman with his mustache.
We made a lot of just people out there. That's not to be bragging. We've made a lot of sacrifices to have these goodies. So her dress is out of this world. And then look at our kittens. I always love the kittens.
I love bird cages with the little birds
Yes, I
swinging
mean,
in
it just
them
helps.
too.
I think makes things come alive. And of course, the kitten is trying to get to the bird. Now, I just noticed something out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, yes.
And I think that our arrangers, I never noticed what they did, but they let the lobsters out. Did you see that?
I did. And I'm really afraid for her because of his expression.
Well, and they are bottom feeders. I mean, what can I tell you? But Anne and Kathy
did
thought that this doll was crowded in, which is true because it is such an amazing piece. And do you want to open it up, Denise? Because it is a candy box.
Okay, I've never touched it before, but look at that.
Yeah, see, it's a candy.
Oh, look at that.
And so that would be filled with candy.
little
And you can
bonbons.
even see a stain. And of course, the lobsters are just hysterical.
And whose were they?
These were made by John Noble, and they will be in the John Noble program, which I believe is already up and running.
Yes, it is. And it's lobster. It's real,
lobster. That's a lobster tail.
We've got little chicken feet.
Chicken feet. Well,
It's a lobster.
you know. Well, they're dressed lobsters. I mean,
His imagination. Though.
this
So
usually
creative.
has lots of things on it, this area, but you don't get to see this wonderful painting.
Look at that painting. Look at him. I think it's a him.
Oh, it is a him.
And he's gotten into the coal.
He has gotten
Looking into the fireplace.
He in big trouble.
He is in big trouble. But it's almost as if they took a picture first, which we would do with our phones. We take a picture first.
I mean, is that not
Worry
cute?
about it later. It's adorable. I love that one. Now we have to bend a little bit,
We
but
gotta
it's
get down.
quite worth it.
And those of you that follow us on YouTube, and if you don't know how to do that, you go into my name, which is Michael Canadas. It's like Canada with an S at the end. And Rachel Hoffman and I did a long, long time ago a video on putting together a tableau, and we worked pretty hard at it. And then I liked it so much that we installed it in this case. So you could go and watch that video and see the whole process of doing that. But there's some wonderful dolls here, and they're worth you know, it may not be easy for us to get up again, but they're worth having a little look at.
This one has a Clement body.
Yeah,
This
it's
little
like
girl.
a tiniest little Clement. And then this, of course, is one of my favorites. And then that's one of my favorites. That's a doll that was the first doll that we ever sold to the late great Lucy Morgan. And then when she passed, we bought that back just as a nice little momentum of a. That's what the holidays are about too. For me, is to stop and remember our friends.
Remember your friends. Come on.
You know, or try to remember the ones that are with us still first, and then the ones that are not. That they're at the big doll show, and they're buying everything they want.
That's right.
All right. Okay, help me up, Denise.
Okay, we are.
I fell and I can't get up.
But now
So
we're going
shall
to
we
just sort
go?
of change gears.
So we go. It's total different. I should tell the audience that acknowledge that many of these items in this case have been gifts to us by people from all over the world. And I think David and I I believe put Max and Moritz on the map with our video. And people enjoyed that so much that we're kind of now associated with them. And so people give us things which is really, really sweet. Like the
Very nice.
Wonderful napkins. Who would think that, you know, there would be a Max and Moritz napkins and cups and molds and magic lantern pieces, Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, look at Christmas, yes.
Yeah, chocolate molds. I mean, they just really, and then we have our dolls, you know, and dolls that were made by artists for events that we were speakers to, and you know, they're just fun.
They're
You know,
fun,
What can I
yes.
tell you? They're
Right,
fun.
right. They're not serious. They're fun. They're little mischief makers.
They are. And when we have a tea, we'll have a Max and Moritz tea with the Max and Moritz teapot. And then we have a couple, like here's the Kessner all bisque that we have Max, or Moritz, and we need Max. And then we have another set that we have Moritz and we need Max.
Oh, okay. Well,
And then we have a big Max that we need a Moritz. And that they will, as you said, they'll come.
they'll come. Yeah.
And of course the piggies here, because they're good luck for the new year.
And what are these here?
These are wax decorative plaques. So I mean, we've got some really odd
Interesting.
things.
And this is one of those things that you turn around and makes noise.
You can make noise. Go ahead. The guys will like it.
Well, first, here are the images. Oh, it's
It's
Moritz.
all Moritz. 'Cause he's got the musical talent. Max does not. So there's a lot of wonderful novelty pieces of the guys, and sand pails.
That would be fun.
And
That
then
would be
here
lots
they're doing their ornaments, their Christmas decoration, or their Christmas hats. But you know they're going to get a lump of coal for
Look
Christmas.
at the clothes. I love their clothes. This looks like a little napkin dinner.
It does, doesn't it? His does too. Or remember, they're kind of like dressed kind of like out of The Sound of Music. So take the napkin, take the curtains,
The
make
curtains.
some play clothes. But they give a lot of people a lot of joy. But like the Earlies, they're outgrowing their case.
We have to find a new building.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I don't think so. This is it, Denise.
this be it.
This is it, if it has to fit in here. But you know what, we've got a few inches this way. So here.
Oh, this way.
Here there's almost,
Well, maybe
an empty spot.
18 inches?
And of course this fabulous ball toss could go somewhere else, because we do have wall spaces in some places. And then while I'm talking about wall spaces, this one really early.
Look at him.
Let me see if I can change this. Sorry, people. And that's a really
Looks
early.
like a pastel.
It's a pastel from about 1790.
Oh my god.
So it's a really early image
Beautiful.
with a toy. Now we're going to go in the
Love
rose room.
So it's not because of Rose Percy.
No, there's another rose.
There's somebody else in here.
And here's a wonderful salesman card, which, I mean, look at those bodies. Aren't those a hoot?
Yes.
They're like balls.
But something a little kid could
Oh,
hold,
yes.
hang on to.
Yeah, and we do love to have things like that. I probably wouldn't individually buy one of those dolls, but when you see it as a
Put it all
group,
together in all the different sizes.
isn't it great?
Mm-hmm. And they're cute too. The little
And then, of course,
sailor.
we love stoves. As you saw in the outside window, we've got quite a few, so...
And here's some beautiful.
Oh, yes, spatterware, which I love spatterware. Love to have it.
You've still got some utensils down here. It's just the little things.
At some point, we'll do a program on stoves. We just haven't gotten around to it. And then one of the groups of the babies. Anything in there you like, Denise?
A couple things. Just a couple.
So
Aren't they wonderful? Now, here's the medallion.
Oh yeah, there's the brunette medallion. Evidently, we have two.
You have
I didn't
two.
know.
One's in a box somewhere.
One's in a box. We don't know where, but we have it. They got all
they're
their little
they're
toys
beautiful.
for Christmas and lots of games and then below the ladies, their decoration are their 6 tiaras, and who's going to get it?
Oh, I think they're all equally worthy. So we saw one Rochard over there with her beautiful little, whatever you call these. Stanhope.
Stanhope.
But
Oh, it's optical.
okay, an
So
optical.
it's photographic.
Right. When you look on the other side, you can see whatever image they have put on there.
They're little photographs. So when you look through that little lozenge, almost, I guess we'd call it, you'll see you can clearly see images
So there's an opening in the back of her
to allow light in.
plate, breastplate.
I mean, they used to be a lot easier for me to see than they are now. I mean, you do have to kind of squint to see it. 10 years ago, I could have seen it
I
great.
could have seen it. I know it's hard.
And then one of my favorite waxes with a superb dress, out of this world.
It's this late 1870s draped garland.
Yeah, just about on 1880. Really smack 79, 80. And then this little thing, pretty fabulous doll. I never get tired of looking at her face.
And what is she called again?
A Laverde.
Laverde. And I went. People at first, I think, thought it was called Kubelka.
Yes.
And some people, but it's not. It's
not.
Laverde.
No, I mean both people had a similar patent, but this was a French company, and they are marked, so it's not there shouldn't. Once the mark could be cross-checked with patents and whatnot, it's clearly something completely different. And the Kubelka was a wooden doll, anyways, so it wasn't a bisque doll.
Okay. But look, the bisque is cut out like that. It's not that the wig or the hair is placed over there. It's cut out.
It's cut out about 1/4 of an inch, and then they would fill it in with wax and then insert
root
it.
it.
Root it. There are quite a few out there with no hair, but she's got her hair still in perfect shape. And this is a big doll.
She's a big girl.
No, I love it. And then here's Rose.
Here's Rose.
Now, that being said, Rose is going to soon she's going to get moved out because she's been here for quite a few years now, and it's time to give the space to something else and give her a rest.
And who else might?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll just have
We'll
to
just
see.
have to see. Yes.
We'll have to see. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe a pair of twins will move in here.
Ah, a pair of twins. Let's see, like.
Twin paper maches.
Yeah, I think they fit.
She has. By the way, she's slowly been moving out of this cabinet because she used to have the whole
She
length
had,
of
yes, the whole.
the whole thing, and then I've slowly taken things away because she's, it's time to. People want to see when we have. Hopefully, we will have events again, and when we have a nice rate of return of people coming back, they want to see different things. I mean, some things they don't want to ever change, but they want to see different things.
Sure. And that's what a museum does. Oh, these cards are incredible.
Although that being said, Denise, there's times where I pull something out of the case for, say, when you're in our club and we have a club talk on, people say, I've never seen that before. You've walked by it 100 times.
Every time you come, you see something else. Yeah.
And then here's one of my favorite pieces is this
It
Raphael Tuck.
Paper? Is that
It's
or is it fabric?
no, it's crepe
It's
paper,
crepe paper,
and
okay.
that is lithography, and it's probably made as a decoration for like a christening, where the disgruntled dad. But I just love it. I love the humor of it.
That's great.
So we move on and show some of my favorite items, which are paper dolls.
I was looking at this again today. Incredible. I thought, that would be fun to do.
It is
Wouldn't
fun to do. You know what? What you're going to do is you're going to come over one afternoon, and I'll teach you how to do it.
Ooh, okay.
Because I have to tell you, I did for a doll organization. They asked me to dress a doll. I said, sure. This was years ago. And then the doll came, and I was just like, ugh. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. I was so uninspired by the doll. So I did one of these, and and they sold it, in an auction, and they did way better than if I would have dressed
a doll.
Yeah.
I believe it.
But they're fun to
so
do,
fun, and you don't see them.
What's fun is you might have just that amount of blonde lace
Right.
that's on this
Right.
that you can't really use for anything, and then you give it life. It's very relaxing. So
Yeah, we've got the little
I don't
girl
know
dresses.
if you working with me and my teaching you is going to be particularly relaxing.
Oh, God. just do it. Just do it.
That's right, isn't that what I said?
Just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it like this.
Yeah.
Like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay.
There's no crying in our classes. If you have to cry, go outside. And
Go out on
I
the
think you've
sidewalk
all
for a
seen
minute.
this if you followed our program of you can't always
Can't.
get what you want. She's in that. And then here's
I want to rename that You Can't Take It With You.
well, you may be lining your coffin with cash, but I won't.
Well, you went past these.
Oh, yes, I did.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So these are American.
Springfield.
This is the start of our American collection. We do not have in the early stuff that much. So we're starting. So we've got 3. And so we've got the Springfield, the Joe Ellis, and the Goodyear rubber.
Ah, Goodyear
In the
rubber.
back, which is really,
Yeah.
look at that.
Look
at
at her.
Look at that pinafore. Isn't that
Look
to
at
die?
that. Yes.
And then we also need to get into our so-called Parians and Chinas. Although we have Chinas, not as many as I would like.
We have to get some KPMs.
Oh, we have
Now
those.
that we saw.
We have those, but you're not supposed to tell them yet.
Oh, okay.
And this is David's domain, and we'll go by this quick because this requires work, and we're going to ignore
We're not
that.
working now. Let's see. How about this beautiful creature?
This is a fabulous doll. This is a World Exposition Jumeau, and I'm sure that when she was new, she was dressed in probably, one of the queens of France or something like that. These are not her original clothes.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I know that is I have a photograph of her from probably 1987. And she wasn't wearing these clothes.
Okay.
But these are old,
They fit her,
fabulous clothes.
heavens.
Oh yeah, I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm leveling with you, people.
Look at that face.
And if we level with people, we have to say, okay, you know, the odds of one of these having the original clothes is very slim. The only one that I know of is Eleanor of Aquitaine. It's a doll dressed to be Eleanor of Aquitaine. That's the only one that
Where
I could
is
say. She went into a private collection,
Okay.
but I'm not sure where.
Oh, okay.
I know that there
Not a
was a lot of, no, not a museum, there was a lot of interest in it. And of course, we don't know if Eleanor still has her clothies. But that was the only one I knew of.
Well, look at this, how this dress is draped.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it is like a miniature dress. I mean, this is not a remake. This is an original dress, just not her original dress.
But it's like a human dress.
Yeah. Oh, totally. One of our big
And look at her.
one of our big fashion dolls. She's not gonna get anything for Christmas except this puppet.
This puppet. That's okay. Maybe we can arrange something. Now, who is she?
She's a early rummer.
Rome? No.
Yeah.
She is?
Yeah.
I didn't see. I've seen her 1,000 times, but I didn't know that. I don't know. I thought, oh, she looks kind of like a Barrois or something.
Well, they're all following a trend. So they're all kind of doing the same thing at the same time.
So an exhibition piece, maybe?
I think she's just a big companion doll.
Girl.
You know, for an only child or you know, big splashy doll. We did a program on catalogs, and this could be a doll that an uncle would buy, somebody that, you know, doesn't have, maybe has a little more money than the family, could get a big splashy thing. And then Princess Elizabeth,
We saw
she's
her.
there. And then we've done lots of programs on the wax dolls, and they're not that festive for Christmas, so
No.
I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's because there's no room.
Yeah, these are fabulous. I love her. This is my favorite.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites of that
Okay,
type.
yeah.
And well, and here's the Lenci case, Valentino, and you'll see him in one of the programs, and the Portuguese lady. And then here's some of our early
love
times.
these. This is where I wish I were 5, 10, or 11.
Yeah.
Oh, Shelley.
I do
look
need
at
to.
that.
I do need to kind of. Perhaps I should flip flop this where they're below and he's above, because I forget that because
You
know
forget
David's
about-
6'2", you know, so. And then our kitchen doll, which always causes people to be taken aback by our kitchen doll. So she's and with her little piggy.
An A mark in the kitchen.
And our kitchen doll.
Yeah.
And of course which I love the collection of.
This is a very pretty collection.
It's very, I'm very happy with it, but we could use more.
No,
Don't tell anybody.
I won't. But they all have different faces, and that's another reason why I could use more.
They're all handmade. And we have a lot of characters, but we could use some more. Shall we go see the most popular doll ever made?
Okay.
And,
And I think, is there a light? Or
oh yes, you could turn on the light right there. That would be nice.
I turned it off.
There, we got a little more light.
Okay.
This case does not have light because we don't want to, but
But this is what Kathy and Ann worked on.
Kathy and Ann worked on it, and I think it pushed them to the other edge of
I don't know if it's...
it should open.
Is it just kind of springs?
Yeah, it should open.
Yes, there it goes.
There you
Okay.
go.
I'm
And
going to
they-
break anything on camera.
No, don't. but they had to redo all this whole case, and they had to deal with all of the shoe issues, And they said when one of them topples over, they all do. So, but they did a really good job.
They did a great job.
And I'm very pleased that, and you know what? Both of those ladies are intellectuals, and they had to figure it out. And I explained to them, there's these things called the catalogs, and everything in the catalog, that pictures in the little catalog, that's what the doll's supposed to have. So it's not as easy as you think.
No.
So they did
Not
that,
with all the
and
million things.
then they put these retro trees, because anybody who grew up in the 50s and 60s know
The
those
silver tree.
silver trees that came out of remember the little paper bags, slots that each branch went in?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
remember that? So they got this all right. And Bradley did a great program on Barbie, so you can watch that and get the.
And G.I. Joe.
Evidently, Bill Lilly, who's
Look who she's after.
she's a very valuable doll. She didn't make the cut to get into the. I'll have to
All
put her
matter
in.
of opinion.
Yeah. Well, shall we go into the
Yeah.
big room?
All right.
Where it happens. So this is the ceilings in this room are 14 feet tall. So this is the tree that Judy Lloyd, who's petite, decorated. So it goes up beyond the second floor. She really
What
did a wonderful job.
Beautiful job.
And this tree is a tree that kind of has the story of my and David's life on this tree.
Really?
This is our tree of all of our things. But I did have something really funny happen.
Teddy?
I know about not the dolls, but the ornaments have some meaning about something. But there was one ornament, this one right here, that I went upstairs and it was just sitting there, and I almost had a panic attack because I thought, where did this come from? Who gave it to us? Oh my God, I never thanked them, because it's our building painted.
I know
You
it
see
is, yes.
And
got the
I
name.
really had a little bit of a freak out, and then David clarified where it came from. He said it wasn't given to us, it was given to our a club raffle, a club gift with $500 in it. And the person who won the $500 gave us the ornament that
That's
came in the
nice.
gift. So that was kind of
That's
fun.
fun. That is fun.
So I was like, oh my God, I'm a terrible
Heart
person. I
attack.
didn't think anybody. I
I just took it.
just took it. And if you can see back there on the wall, there's a nice painting of a child with a doll. That was probably a Christmas gift.
And there are more back here.
Yes, there's some really nice ones too. I love the girl in blue. And that's a very good painter, but I can't tell you who. I know it's an important painting, and then they both have so-called milliners models in their hands, both these paintings. But we have room to go up. There's a lot of, there's plenty of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to step back so you can see the table is set to do a thank you dinner for all of our speakers. So it's all set, and this room can hold up to 26 people in one long table if need be. And they will have the view, the people on this side, of the children's case. There's a little bit of decoration there, but not that much, because the dolls themselves are the decoration.
They shine. Oh no, there's pretty little beads going through, like little strung cranberry beads. Look at that.
They did a nice job. And the mantle is ready for St. Nick to come down.
Bulldog stockings.
Lots of bulldogs. Lots of bulldog stockings.
We're going to look at who's in control of the power.
Oh, yeah, just in case you guys don't realize who's in complete control of this whole thing. It's Princess Wilhelmina. She has the power in her hand. When she pushes that red button, look out. So we've got that. And then we just did a little little display here of souvenirs. There's hairs from Abraham Lincoln's head and our president's tree
from
and Sophia Smith is just having a sit. And then lots of, since it's Lincoln, we also put these wonderful things that belong to General Tom Thumb because they were acquainted. And these were a wonderful gift from Carol Cameron. She found these somewhere in the UK and thought of us. And we appreciate that. And then on this other side, we have the general's shirt and waistcoat, which is great. Just wonderful artifacts to
amazing
have.
to have. Yeah.
And then this is the area where we have our antique tree and all of our antique goodies and
Antique
Santas.
feather tree,
Yes.
which they really are.
Those are real goose feathers.
Yes, they're real feathers.
And if you can see that man in the background, that's David Robinson working to keep everything going. But he'll ignore us because he doesn't like show business.
Somebody has to deal with this paperwork.
That's right. Somebody has to deal with the paperwork. So I'll give you a view this way of the tree. And this is the tree that you can get more information from the John Noble program. And then, of course, the ladies, this is known as the ladies' corner. So they're all the French fashion dolls. And then that's Rose Percy's corner, but she's in the other room right now. And more ladies and gentlemen here. And then this is a mix, even though they're not supposed to be here, there are some children that have commandeered a spot. And normally there's an area that's blocked off, and that's because that's right now where all of the videos are being worked on. Normally we could walk through that and have another view, but I'll give you a look in this room where you can see it from a distance. There's David, and there's Lucy's case, and she sits behind me, and she should have a tree there, but it looks like she's been robbed.
She's been robbed.
But it'll be back.
The door's open. She's been robbed.
Well, Denise, it was fun doing this
very
with
fun.
you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
all
you
of
for
our
letting
World
me.
Doll Day friends, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Let's have a wonderful New Year. And do you have anything to say,
I just
Mr.
want to
Robbins?
say thank you to everyone for tuning in and for your great comments and contributions. And it's fun, and boy, it went fast.
It did go
It
fast.
did, didn't it? Anyway, everyone, Merry Christmas, and thank you for all your support through the year. Let's all have a good 2022.
Let's do that.
Yes, let's.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye, friends.
Bye, everyone.